I'm Gilzene, and this is my creative critical section for my film Inner Turmoil. The creators of this production were me and my classmate Janisha Dalhall. Inner Turmoil is a coming-of-age psychological drama. The film is about a girl who keeps all of her personal issues to herself while simultaneously caring about the people around her. The main goal of the opening scene was to have the audience experience exactly what it feels like to be her. To accomplish this, we made majority of the opening scene POV shots. Stella has many positive interactions with the people around her. They are shown either greeting her or asking her for help in some way. This is meant to show her friendly and dependable side. But as we proceed to the last few shots, Stella is shown crying into a mirror. She is wearing dark clothing to represent the new solemn mood. We also see that throughout many of the shots, our protagonist is looking down at her phone. This is meant to give the idea that she distracts herself with it. It's used as an escape of some sort. The audience does not know the reason as of yet. The pacing of the shots start off fast but are slowed down near the end to interpret how fast it feels her day goes by until she gets home and her feeling of loneliness seems to last forever. We also chose to isolate certain sounds such as footsteps to give more of a realistic feel to the scene. There is also the use of silence while the protagonist is alone and starts to cry. All upbeat sounds are cut off to focus solely on her cries. We also use high-key lighting in the beginning shots to match the upbeat vibe. It then starts to dim as the mood shifts. The usual conventions of a drama film consist of white characters that exhibit real-life situations. The heart of the plot is mainly conflict, and they portray the character developing throughout their journey. While we did follow most of these conventions, we challenged the traditionally white main character convention as the characters shown in our film are black. Now, as for the representation, teenagers in the media are shown as selfish people who only care about themselves or their close friends. They portray them as rebellious and menaces to society. But the teenager in my film is the complete opposite. She continuously puts others above her own needs for the sake of pleasing them and keeping them happy. In production, there is something called the Big Six. They command approximately 90% of box office takings. The studios that work outside those major films are called independents or indies, and some independent studios have come to be known as mini majors. The production company we chose is Summit Entertainment. When choosing this company, we kept in mind that this company is more of an independent, which is the kind of company we were looking for. We also looked at the kinds of films that this company has produced, two of them being Remember Me and The Perks of Being a Wallflower. Remember Me is a film about a man who has a strained relationship with his father after a family tragedy. We see his journey to happiness as he begins to fall in love with the girl. Right when he thinks his happiness is secure, secrets arise that threaten his newfound contentment. While in The Perks of Being a Wallflower, oh, my fault. And The Perks of Being a Wallflower is about a socially awkward teen who gets mentored by two students. They help him discover the joys of friendship and love. As he prepares to leave for college, his past mental battles, start all over again. The distribution phase of the film industry is a highly competitive business of launching and sustaining films in the marketplace. It is imperative to remember that the film industry is a business and the films are products to be marketed and sold. Every film has its own distribution plan to ensure the audience. With all this in mind, I was able to decide which distribution method would be most effective for my film. Distribution methods I've chosen are cinemas or theaters and online streaming platforms such as Netflix and Hulu. These seem to be the most effective, especially during the times that we are currently in. Marketing is one of the most important aspects of a film's distribution, and there are many different ways to market that film. Some ways I believe would be best to market my film would be through the use of posters, trailers, and social media advertisements. These methods are simple and they're the easiest ways to connect to our target audience. Now, on to target audiences. A target audience is basically a group of people who are more likely to consume your product. Our target audience are specifically people, mostly teens, who may be going through any mental health issues. It gives them the chance to relate to something the media doesn't often show and helps them feel less alone. I believe I got better at filmmaking once I understood and applied all of my knowledge to studying a film. In the beginning of this course, I would watch a movie, enjoy it, and casually go about my day. But now, with my newfound knowledge, I can view various films and figure out their intended meaning. I've learned that at the beginning of every project you create, you will need a lot of planning put into it. You must know every step you'll be taking throughout the process. You create your shot-by-shot storyboard scripts and apply any underlying meanings you see fit. During the middle of your project is when you actually put your planning into play. You're shooting, revising, and reshooting. I personally believe this is the most laid-back part of the entire process. Now, near the end of your project is when you get into editing. When editing, you must choose a software that seems best for you. Once you find it, you play your tracks and your audios and squeeze in some transitions to get your final product. Moving on to the behind-the-scenes efforts put into creating the opening. We'll begin with drafting and planning. The planning and drafting portion personally was my favorite process of the entire production. I was able to write out multiple scripts and choose the one that best fit my liking. Storyboarding was slightly more difficult as I am no artist, but it helped me jot down exactly how I wanted each scene to play out. Once I found my actors and locations of each shot, I made my shooting schedule. While shooting, the director, aka me, stood behind my partner to make it seem like our protagonist's point of view. This was used for a lot of these shots. There would be times when we rewatched a shot and we seemed unsatisfied, so we decided to reshoot it. In the establishment shot, for example, we first shot it on the ground and the porch looked cluttered. When we played it back and realized we didn't like it, we reshot it from a high angle in an empty area. I have become capable of accessing and maneuvering through different functions on WeVideo. The tracks are meant to help me lay all my media, and I get my media from imported files. Once the media is set, I began to add things like transitions and audio as I felt necessary. I was able to isolate specific sounds to give off the realistic feel I was going for. I sampled other audios that weren't in my original pieces of media if I felt they were missing something. This adding in of little details really helped bring the whole opening scene together. After leaving the class, I would become a more knowledgeable and skilled filmmaker due to me having the ability to identify all aspects put into a film. The device used to film our production was on an iPhone XR. We also use the editing software WeVideo. While on WeVideo, I learned how to use the many different functions to get the desired outcome of my product. I learned how to add text to media and search through multiple audios and transitions that best fit my production. The picture on the left contains a still from the Christmas music video that I composed. I would say that I have improved because in the Christmas music video, there was little to no meaning put into the video. It was simply put people lip syncing to a song. I didn't use any technical shots while recording, and my editing skills were lacking. But now, after lots of practice, I am using things such as POV shots so that an audience may look through a character's eye, as seen on the right. Our shots were taking place in a classroom, school hallway, the sidewalk, on the porch of a home, near the park, and inside of the bathroom. Starting this class, I had zero knowledge about the many different conventions and purposeful pieces of mise-en-scène used to create meaning. Now I am able to identify and apply conventions to a film. Thank you so much for watching my CCR. Bye.